Welcome to South of King's Landing, Displays Network's A Night of the Seven Kingdoms after show, where we've been discussing each and every episode of this show. And today is the finale. We are discussing episode 6. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me, Hand of the King, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, Dylan, excited to be here to learn that everything we thought was true about Westeros is a lie.
Yeah. I'll get get to that because that was probably my favorite moment of the episode, to be completely honest. This week, episode 6, The Morrow, directed by Sarah Adina Smith, written by Hiram, Martinez, Mikkel, Ira Parker. Synopsis was, as Ashford mourns a great loss, Dunk considers his next move and whether to keep Egg as his squire. What did you make of this week's episode, Ash? I think it was very good, but it's like epilogue-y.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good episode, but obviously, after the high of last week, it wasn't like stand outish in any way, but it was really well put together and felt like a fitting conclusion to this story that we've been having around this, this festival or whatever.
Yeah.
This is
tournament.
That was
just a tournament. Yeah,
this tournament that never happened because shit hit the fan. But yeah, also I feel like setting up the next season, where this show can go, with how this season kind of wraps everything up.
Yeah, it was really good. It does a good job, I think, of capping off the main. Well, not capping off, but at least like giving you answers and concluding certain things, and for what we've been going through, the confirmation. You get the confirmation that Dunk was actually never knighted. Finally, after that sort of, everyone says stuff about that whole episode, but obviously he'd just been lying and will forever now be lying. Mm-hmm. But obviously so it's like that's answered. You get the Egg officially being allowed to. Well,
no.
Not allowed. Egg joining him,
yes.
And Dunk accepting him. Not officially allowed, but yeah. And then you get some sort of wrap up for the turmoil between Dunk and the royal family and associates, I guess, as it all plays off. And then some other characters get little cap offs, like can't remember his name now, but the old mate who's now married and about to have a kid. The star of the episode, nearly, I feel.
With super sperm.
Yeah.
Can impregnate a lady in one night to the stage where she is fully aware that she's having a boy.
Yep. I have no scientific...
And the baby is coming in 6 months' time.
Yep. No scientific reason to doubt anything that was happening there at all. But I guess just to sort of bring it up, because at the start of the episode, you have the conversation between him and Lionel. What do you make of that, with him not choosing to accept his offer? Also, just the fact that he, when he lent up, he tells his maester to go fuck himself, basically.
Oh, that's one of my favorite moments, where his maester is heavily confused because he believes Dunk is dying right now.
Yeah. He's like, this man is dying. He's like, you're a fucking idiot. You're fine. He only got stabbed 16 times. You're fine.
Yeah. It's like a doctor comes in and this man's having a heart attack, and you're like, no.
Nah.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Fucking idiot. And then proceeds to put his weight all on him so he can get himself up. Ridiculous. But
yeah, I guess, we just him putting his perspective, Baylor's position going into that fight, he was a man who really was risking nothing in that fight because, as he established, the King's Guard can't really hit him. We couldn't really hurt him or anything, so he wasn't risking anything. So Dunk really shouldn't feel this heavy burden on himself for his death, in his opinion.
Yeah,
he should show more loyalty to those who actually did fight with something to lose.
And he's not wrong, is the thing.
Mm-hmm. But it's a harsh thing to say right after somebody's died.
Yeah, it is a harsh thing to say. But a big part of this episode is obviously many characters, mostly, of course, Dunk trying to come to terms with the who's at fault in their feelings. But and then after this, we get the conversation with Targaryen. Is it
Daring?
Maker? Or was that one of the other ones?
So Maker is the father.
Okay. There's too many names. I can't.
Maker's the father. Aaron's the terrible brother, murderous brother. Darian is the drunkard brother.
Yep.
Egg is the good kid. Egg is the good egg.
Yeah, egg is a good egg. Yep.
Dragon egg, some would say.
Yeah. So
what point were you making?
Yeah, I forgot where I was going. He goes and has a conversation with. Is it Raymond? Is that who I'm looking at? The correct one? Or am I not? No. That's someone that's. Who is the Targaryen? The one he got the brother. The one who killed him.
Oh, Maker.
That is Maker. So I was right.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
So Maker was Baelor's brother.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry. But he's the kid's father. Yeah.
Yes. So he goes and have a conversation with Maker after this, and the big part of that conversation was obviously, he says, "I'm going to forever have this on my head that I did this, and you're forever going to have this on your head." He said, there could be another king. I could be in the place, and the fields could be going to shit, and people would be thinking, "Oh, if Baelor hadn't done that," and then he says to Dunk that, but they'll blame you. It's like, oh, if that hedge nut hadn't done that, or what he tries to. It's sort of you can tell he's not trying to be a super asshole in the conversation, but at the same time, he's like
he is a little bit.
He's a little bit, yeah. What'd you make of their interactions this episode between that and then the asking him to come train Egg at King's Landing? I think at King's Landing or wherever, somewhere official.
Yeah, I think he is tolerating him. I think just because he is someone clearly Egg looks up to, and I think it's telling later in the episode where he says, "He's my last son. He's my last chance at raising a good kid. I don't want to." Well, I guess it's very relatable for a lot of parents. Like, kid, they always think of the youngest as the baby. They always the one will always be want to be protected. Youngest child syndrome and all that kind of stuff. So, that's what it plays into. It's like Egg is really taking the shine to this guy. Egg is probably has a special place in his heart. He wants to please him, but also wants to keep him. Egg definitely is not of the idea of Egg living the life of Hedge Knight.
No, he says you can't be sleeping in areas and
eating hard,
whatever he says, or shitty food, basically. Yeah, but I didn't get the line. I actually missed the context of the line Dunk throws back at him. He says something about someone else did it, or he throws some line back at him.
Well, he names his first two sons, and your drunkard son never slept in a ditch, and your shitty son, never ate hardtack.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So just trying to say
they turned out like shit.
Maybe a change is what's needed.
Maybe you need to do something different with this son, so they don't go down that path.
Interesting. Then, of course, by the time we sort of covered they do spend a little bit of the episode with a little bit of comedy and banter with the I'm super sperm.
Yes. So if you don't remember, that was one of the ladies of the night who was servicing people at one of the earlier episodes. There's now taken a liking to Raymond
because he had such a good performance at the battle. It was
so good.
Yep. Which I don't think we even saw a single shot of him in the battle, really, because it's so focused on.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe in the background, but it's hard to say. He's also a bit stoned by his cousin, so took his tent, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. He has a good line about the apples, though. I'd rather a green,
Big green unripe apple and a withering red one.
Yeah, withering red one. That was good, I thought. So, then we get obviously by the time we reach the end of the episode, and you get him trying to decide what to do next after pitching the idea of Egg joining him, and that's seemingly not going to happen. He gets offered the horse back, but says he can. Raymond can keep it because he says he's going to go work at a orchard or something. Yeah,
his father does like make cider, so he's going to go do that.
Yeah, so he tells him he can take the horse instead of selling or giving it back to him, or he purchased it back for him or whatever. So that's sort of how they wrap up their story. But then, right as he's sort of trying to work out, I guess, what to do with his life next, Egg does rock up and say that his father said that he can come. He can come, that he's allowed to come and join him. And I did appreciate the interaction of, instead of Dunk still does this thing the whole season where you can tell he's it's not within his personality at all, and we've seen it's not, but it's just him trying to be his do what he had done to him, I guess. He's trying to do the role properly. So, when he says I'm allowed to come, he's like, we're going to have the horse, and if I ever see you on blah, 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 I'll get the backhand of you, like all this. Whenever he does these very serious lines and turns on that mode, it's like, that's not really
it's him trying to carry the spirit of Ireland.
Yeah, definitely what he's trying to do there. And then they're talking. It's like, where should we go next? And he says we've got all 7 kingdoms. We could travel anywhere in the 7 kingdoms. And then Egg then says no, there's actually 9. And Dunk's whole interaction during this place, he's like, what are you asking for? I don't remember if he says, he's like, asking for a clip up the ear, basically, or some version of something like that. And then Egg proceeds to then list off all these places, adding in the 2 across the sea that viewers would
I think what the context of it is that originally there were 7 kingdoms, but then I think 2 of them got created, or one they expanded in some way to become 9 kingdoms. But because within the religion 7 is a holy number, they just continue calling it the 7 kingdoms.
But the look on his face,
yes,
priceless.
The look on his face is like when people were recently told that Puerto Rico was part of America.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what? No, that's I've always been told there's 50 states.
Yeah.
There's some other territories that are included in the United States. Yeah. So yeah. Nice little kappa.
ACT's a state, like that little thing.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, it's a territory.
They're very good. And then, all right, Mr. Smart ass. Then I like the cut to the title card of A Night of the Nine Kingdoms. Very good. Change the title for next season. Just do it. Just commit, Yeah. Commit to the bit.
No. I don't think they could. With all the marketing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, true. It'd be funny.
It's all about the marketing.
Yeah. And then post that, we do... Because the whole time you're watching the ending of the show, you're like, okay. Like, I'm sort of surprised that he did change his mind and say that Egg could come. Or he wouldn't walk him down to do a Passover or something like that. And also Dunk doesn't seem to question it at all, which is also just Dunk being very naive half the time. But then we come back to the whole Targaryen assortment leaving the place, and Maker's looking for Egg, looking for his son, and yelling and screaming, "Where the fuck is he?" Yeah, he gone, bro.
Yep,
he's off again. This is after you do get to see a very nice scene that I guess reiterates the whole how he feels about him as his final chance and final son. Because when Egg walks into the room with the knife, I think he has.
Yes, so He's standing in front of a mirror. You can see his hair starting to regrow.
Come back, blonde. Yeah.
And the reason, if you don't remember, the reason he shaved his head because it didn't want to look like his sadistic brother.
Yeah.
So yes, he does grab that knife, and I thought, oh, he's going to go reshave his head. I guess that's a weird thing, but no, he walks into his brother's room where he's resting, trying to heal up his injuries with that knife behind his back, in the same way that we've probably seen a bunch of people in Game of Thrones doing that thing. But then his father walks in, and wordlessly stops, drops a knife, tears down the kid's eyes. 10 out of 10 acting without saying a word.
It was So it's sort of, I think seeing his father react that way and not get like super angry says a lot. It's also very different to the sort of characters we're used to seeing in Game of Thrones, because I feel like every other character I could picture in that scenario would have smacked him up straight away, or like begun screaming, or something like that. So I found that quite interesting.
I think it's interesting, the placement of that in the episode. So right after that, that's when Dunk comes and makes the offer to take him away and treat him differently to his other sons. It would have been, I think it would have been interesting if it was the other way around, where, I don't know, Dunk makes that offer and then he's rejected, and then Egg tries to kill his brother.
Yeah.
And then it may be a little bit more believable that, his father would have allowed him without, and then it's like a little bit more of a surprise that he's leaving without permission, I guess. Potentially.
Well, no, he doesn't have permission, else why would he be?
No, like potentially that switch of scenes would have been.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you've Googled your way ahead. I still haven't looked up anything. Much. Yeah. So looking ahead at this show, they've already, like, we know season 2 is happening. The show's been quite a good success.
I believe they're filming it now, because I've seen interviews where they're spoiling things. I've seen one thing. No, the kid's reshaped his head. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, it makes sense. I mean, if you think about this season, I would like to know how much this show cost to make, because you compare the cost of this to House of Dragon, Game of Thrones, and many other HBO, Last of Us, whatever. This show cannot have been half of a normal Game of Thrones or major HBO show. I just don't see that. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it's like the show's been a great success and it's really, really good. But
saves so much money on CGI. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's also like, okay, people have enjoyed this story, these 6 episodes more than they did the entirety of the last season of House of Dragon. So just, if you can get straight to another one.
I don't know if you've seen the online.
Also, the kid's going to age, so.
Yeah, that too. But the online, like, back and forth about last week's episode, which was, for a brief period, the highest rated episode of IMDb, to the extent where hardcore Breaking Bad fans
I didn't say that.
We're downloading this episide, and then because
Ozymandias. That's the number. I think that was the number one highest rated.
Yeah, so they're review bombing that, and they're review bombing this one.
That's ridiculous.
It's stupid.
User reviews are dumb, and this is why they're dumb. Also, Breaking Bad fans be better. I thought we're the smarter ones. we're the adults.
Yeah.
Don't participate. Just let it be. Yeah. So, but yeah, and then another thing is, I think if they can get straight into it and film more, because the kid's only going to start to age, and that's going to be a problem.
It's only a problem if he does
Stranger Things
stay the same age.
Well, I mean, he has to age up eventually, but I mean, I don't think he's meant to age that fast between.
Yes. Okay.
Next season, I don't think that's from my understanding. Yeah. So I'm still under assumption that there's no really, like, I don't expect the next season there's like a big through line of story and stuff here. I just assume they'll just rock up somewhere and there'll be another adventure. That's how I knowing that they're 3 novellas, I'm like, isn't that the whole? It's just like a little contained.
I don't know. I feel like there's potential for them to go in any direction they really want to. Like, they don't need to go straight to whatever the next novella is.
True.
If they've got ideas for something.
Would George be okay with it, or is George going to get angry?
I think he has pretty good faith, maybe, in the series, you know? I mean, he had a hand in its creation, I believe, so...
Yeah, but wasn't he getting shitty about it? Or was that House Dragon? I can't remember now.
I think it was House of Dragon.
House Dragon. One of them I know, there was an interview recently where he was getting shitty about it, so... But yeah. Any final thoughts on the episode?
I will say, I did enjoy at the start of the episode, they're playing like a accordion-esque music, and then it's like a hard cut to like Lionel and Dunk sitting in the tree, like all beaten up, and Lionel like being very happy.
Was the overhead shot of Lionel and his maester just looking down?
Yeah. And then hard cut.
Yeah.
Them just chilling.
Yep.
I thought it was quite amusing. Do you think the Duncan Island scene was a flashback or a dream sequence?
Flashback.
Okay. What do we think with it? Why do you think he didn't answer him?
About what? Why he never knighted him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I presume he died straight after he finished his story, to be honest.
So, a good knight always finished his story and then croaked. Is that how you think it happened?
That's how I took it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like he fake croaked and then came back to go like, haha, knight always finished his story. But now that I have, I'm dead. Yeah.
That's why we call it a penny tree.
Yeah. Because that was the location that was straight. And he does, Dunk does put the penny in the tree at the end. So. It's not like it was a different location. It was very obviously the where he's buried.
Yeah, but it still could have been him imagining in his final moments. Asking that question.
Yeah. No. I took it as legit. The show's so far just done every time there's this. The show hasn't done anything like that so far, so I'm taking it as is.
But the episode ends with Harlan and them walking away, so...
Yeah, but that's some like Fast and Furious, like I'll see you again down the line thing, you know? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, so it's justified because it's sort of ode to Fast and Furious?
Yeah, it's an ode to Fast and Furious. Yeah.
Give us that fan edit.
Yes. And I'll see you again. Come on, Wiz Khalifa. I was trying to think of the actual singer's name of the song, but whatever.
No.
I can't think of it. All right, that'll do it for this episode, this season of South of King's Landing, where we've been discussing all things the Night of the Nine Kingdoms. We will be back in a couple months' time when House of Dragon is back for its 3rd season.
It's not far away. Crazy.
Did
you watch the teaser?
Yeah, I watched the teaser. So lots of violence is what.
Lots of dragons.
Lots of shit's going to happen. I mean, it makes sense. Season 2 was sort of most people were attempting to... The two sides were attempting to make peace for a little while there, so it maybe wasn't as much action and violence as people wanted. And obviously, Matt Smith spent the whole season just being cranky and walking around the castle. So season 3 being a bit more dragon action heavy makes sense to me. So, but yeah, looking forward to that, and we'll be here discussing it on the podcast feed, of course. So you can look forward to that in a couple months' time. But that's it. The council's over for this week. Join us then for another season of South of King's Landing. And in between those months, you can check out all other shows at explosionnetwork.com/podcast and check out all the other articles, news, reviews, fun things over at explosionnetwork.com. Goodbye.